Just watching some Albanian TV and having some coffee with some Albanians. That's fucking sick. What's up everyone, welcome back to Planetauditory, and in this video I'm going to be retelling my 2.5 weeks in Albania over a 2-part video. And the reason for me retelling the story like this is because the camera I used for all my talking shots, the one I'm using right now, it basically wiped all the files I had of Albania, of me talking and like introducing, and I have no idea what happened, why I did that. I stupidly hadn't backed them up, so it's partly my fault for not backing anything up, and also partly because I use really crappy equipment. It doesn't matter, this is still going to be a really awesome video, and I'm still going to be able to describe everything that happened in full detail, so let's get underway. What the fuck? So as you guys would have seen in the last video, I hitchhiked from Sarajevo in Bosnia all the way down to the capital of Montenegro, Podgorica, and then I hitchhiked from Podgorica to Skodra into the northern part of Albania. Now before I go on and start talking about my time in Skodra, I think it's a good idea to sort of like give you guys a quick history lesson about Albania to give you a bit of context. So if you don't want a quick history lesson of Albania, just skip like 2-3 minutes forward into the video when I start talking about my time in Skodra. Otherwise, hang around because Albania's got some crazy history, man. Crazy history. Now, up until about 25 years ago, Albania was one of the most isolated countries in the world, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But first you need to know that even though Albania is a really old country, they actually haven't had independence and freedom for very long. Up until 1912, for hundreds of years, they were actually occupied by the Ottoman Empire, and then in 1912 they became independent and introduced their own monarchy. But that only lasted until World War II, when Italy came over and occupied Albania. That was then followed by Nazi Germany, and then after World War II, things got really bad. And things got really bad because after World War II, the strongest party was the Communist Party. They basically traveled north and killed off all the rivals, the nationalists. Once they'd killed off the rivals, they were the only party in power, and they introduced a guy named Enver Hoxha. Now they have Enver Hoxha. They have now become a full communist totalitarian state, and then he starts doing really bad things. So he basically starts cutting ties, democratic ties, with every country in the world. He only wanted to be friends with any communist country. So first off was Yugoslavia, but then he starts incurring really large debts with them, so he cuts ties with them. Then he moves to China, and he basically does the same thing, has large debts with them, so he cuts ties with China. And then he moves to Russia, but pretty much the same thing happens. He ends up cutting ties with Russia. So Albania becomes pretty much what North Korea is today. Very similar situation, where they don't allow anyone to exit or enter the country, and it's just completely by itself, cut off from the rest of the world. So then it starts getting really bad. Like I said, no one can exit or enter the country. They're completely isolated. 1 in 3 people are part of the secret police. Religion is completely outlawed, and many priests are executed. Enver Hoxha ends up announcing that this is the first atheist country in the world. I heard one crazy story where he trained a whole lot of dogs to be his like trusted advisor. This guy was just crazy. He was absolutely insane. Now this all continued till about mid-80s when Enver Hoxha died. His successor, Ramiz Alia, was a lot more liberal. And once the communism revolution occurred and Yugoslavia started to break up and all of this happened, he ended up becoming a lot more liberal and brought in a 2-party system. So then we finally have a 2-party system. We have the communism and the Democrats. And in 1992, finally the Democrats win the election and Albania becomes a capitalist country with a democratic system. Communism falls, the party is reformed as a socialist party, and we basically almost get to where Albania is today. Okay, history lesson over. That's just a quick, brief little overview. Now let's move on to Scotland. Now, to be honest, I didn't really like Skodra. It was alright. It was a cool introduction to Albania. Like, it's really good if you're coming into Montenegro and you want somewhere to stay for the night, or if you're going to Valbona or Teth. But best thing is probably Rosova Castle. This place is incredible. Now, the best thing I think I did in Skodra was pay €5 and go to the owner of the hostel's house. He then cooked everyone a traditional meal. All the ingredients came from his backyard. We drank unlimited wine, and all the grapes were actually grown at his house, and we smoked local cigarettes. The tobacco was all grown locally. Everything was local, and he told us stories of Albania. It was absolutely awesome. I'll put a link in the description below so you can stay at the hostel, because the hostel was, it was alright, but you also then are able to have the opportunity to go to Florian's house and have a meal there, and that was really cool experience. I really enjoyed it. And once you get to Albania, as soon as you're there, like, everyone just spots you, obviously a tourist. Everyone's so nice, so friendly. One of the friendliest countries I've ever been. So after 4 days, I decided to hitchhike to the capital, Tirana. And it took me 2.5 hours to get outside the city. It's only supposed to take me 40 minutes, but it took me so long because everyone kept stopping me, wanting to chat to me, offering me coffee. It was absolutely amazing. But once I got to my hitchhiking spot, it literally took 5 minutes and I already got a ride. It was incredible. Now, this is one of the best rides I think I've ever had. This guy was hilarious. He was so funny. We argued in the car for about 30 minutes. I was saying that Albanians are some of the friendliest, nicest people in the world. He was saying Albanians are not nice and friendly and are some of the least friendliest people in the world. He then proceeded to basically destroy his argument. He went and bought me a sausage roll, 2 sausage rolls.
Albanian hot dogs are awesome. You guys, bit of cheese, 3 sausages.
And then we got to Tirana and he made sure I got to my hostel. I said I didn't have a hostel. So he gave me his phone, made me book a hostel, called the hostel, told the people to come meet me. They came meet me and then he made sure I got there safely. It was incredible. This guy was amazing. Thank you so much. You're a legend. That's all for part 1, guys. Part 2 is going to come out on Friday. Part 2 is going to be awesome. I'll take you around Tirana. I'll tell you what I got up to. And then I hitchhiked down the Albanian Riviera, see some of the best beaches in the world, end up going to a random techno festival with 2 Swedish girls, a guy from the Netherlands that I met on the road, and just a whole heap of Albanians. It's absolutely incredible. It's awesome. It's one of the best weeks of my travel lives. It was so much fun. But thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out the Instagram, check out Facebook, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and leave a comment below if you've been to Albania or if you've got any recommendations or cool things that happened to you. And I'll see you all on Friday. So thanks for watching, guys. Much love. Peace out.